For today's video, we are going to talk about what is inverse proportion and we are going to explain everything in details. So when we say inverse proportion, the product of two quantities being compared is a constant. So when a quantity increases, the other quantity decreases. And when a quantity decreases, the other quantity increases. And inverse proportion is written in the form of A times B equals C times D. And these are the basic concepts that you need to remember in order for us to understand what is inverse proportion. So let's start and let's have an example. On the first example, it takes 4 mechanics to repair a car for 6 hours. How long will it take for 7 mechanics to do the repair if they work at the same rate? To determine the number of hours will it take for 7 mechanics to repair a car at the same rate, let us write this one in the form of A times B equals C times D. So A, that is 4, and then B, that is 6, and then on the other side, C, that is 7, and let us represent D as X. That is the number of hours will it take for 7 mechanics to repair a car at the same rate. And to simplify, let us have 4 times 6, and that is 24. 7 times X is 7X. Let us divide both sides by 7. Let us cancel this one. So X equals 24 over 7. If you are going to divide this one, we are going to have 3 and 3 over 7 hours. Therefore, the 7 mechanics will finish the repair in 3 and 3 over 7 hours, and this will be our answer. On example number 2, if 50 persons can consume a certain amount of food in 2 months, in how many months can 30 persons consume the same amount of food? To determine the number of months for 30 persons that consume the same amount of food, let us write this one in the form of A times B equals C times D. A, that is 50, and B, that is 2, and then C, that is 30, and let us represent D as X. That is the number of months for 30 persons that consume the same amount of food. And to simplify, let us have 50 times 2, that is 100, equals 30 times X is 30X. Let us divide both sides by 30. Let us cancel this one. So X equals 100 over 30. If you are going to divide this one, we are going to have 3 and 10 over 30 months. Since we can simplify 10 and 30, we can write our answer as X equals 3 and 1/3 months. And this will be our answer. On example number 3, to finish a job in 8 days, 6 workers are needed. If it is required to finish the same job in 2 days advance, how many workers must have to work? To determine the number of required workers to finish the same job in 2 days advance, let us write this one in the form of A times B equals C times D. A, that is the number of days, that is 8. And then B, that is 6. That is the number of workers needed to finish the job in 8 days. And then C, that is 6. Since we have 8 days and 2 days advance, that is 6 days. And then let us have D as X. That is the number of required workers to finish the same job in 2 days advance. And to simplify this one, let us have 8 times 6, that is 48, equals 6 times X, that is 6X. Let us divide both sides by 6. Let us cancel this one. So X equals 48 over 6. If we are going to divide, we are going to have 8 workers. So this will be the required number of workers to finish the same job in 6 days, and this will be our answer. On our last example, if 9 men take 15 days to assemble 18 machines, how many days will it take 20 men to assemble 60 machines? So this problem is an example of joint variation. It is a combination of direct and inverse variation. So to answer this one, let us represent X as the number of men, y as the number of days, z, that is the number of machines, and then always remember, whatever kind of variation, k is always constant. Since the number of men is directly proportional to the number of machines, because more men produce more machines, and the number of men is inversely proportional to the number of days, because more men required the less number of days to finish the job. The next thing that we are going to do is to write the equation of our variation. So let us have x is directly proportional to z, that is the number of machines, and let us have k as our constant, and inversely proportional to the number of days, that is y. So the value of x, that is 9, and then z, that is 18, and then let us have k over y, that is 15. Since we can simplify 18 and 15 because they are divisible by 3, it will give us 9 equals 6k over 5. And to simplify, let us have 5 times 9, that is 45, equals 6k. And to divide, let us have 6 on both sides of the equation. Let us cancel this one. So k equals 45 over 6. And if you are going to simplify this one, because 45 and 6 are divisible by 3, 45 becomes 15 and 6 becomes 2. So this will be the value of our constant. And then let us have x equals kz over y. So x, that is the number of men, z, that is the number of machines, and y, that is the number of days. So we are looking for the number of days. So let us have x, that is 20, equals k, that is 15 over 2, times z, that is 60, all over y, that is the number of days. So to simplify this one, let us have 20 multiplied by y, that is 20y. And we can divide 20 or 60 by 2, that is 30. So we are going to have 15 times 30. So and then let us divide both sides by 20. Let us cancel this one. So y equals 30 and 20 are divisible by 10. So 30 becomes 3 and 20 becomes 2. We are going to have 15 times 3 over 2. 15 times 3, that is 45 over 2. So if we are going to divide this one, 45 divided by 2, that is 22 and 1/2 days. And this will be our answer. So I hope you've learned from this video. Thank you so much for watching, and God bless us all.